Hi everyone, we're going to find the value of our variables x and y and the measure of each angle in the diagram. So we're doing these 4 problems and we're either going to use the vertical angle theorem or the supplementary angle theorem to solve. So for the first one it's 11 and we're going to use the vertical angle theorem. So these 2 angles are congruent and these 2 angles are congruent because these 2 have the y's, and the first one we're going to do have the x's. So that means they're congruent. That means we can set them equal to each other. So you have 13x plus 9 equals 15x minus 1. And we'll subtract 13x from both sides and add 1 to both sides. So that gives us 10 equals 2x, so x equals 5. These 2 cancel. Alright, so if we solve for x, let's solve for y. You solve for y, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to set them equal to each other, so we have 4y plus 2 equals 6y. I'm going to go ahead and distribute here. 6y minus 50. So I'm going to subtract 4y from both sides and add 50 to both sides of the equation. So that gives us 52 equals 2y. Divide both sides by 2, so you get y equals 26. So we solve for our x and y, but we also have to find the measure. So we're going to plug the x back into one of these. I'll let you plug it in the other one. I'm going to plug it into, I think, the easiest one for me to do it without a calculator. So I'm going to do 15 times 5 minus 1 degrees. So 15 times 5 is 75 minus 1 degrees equals 74 degrees. So this should be 74 and this should be 74. I leave it to you to check it out. All right, and then for the y, we have 26. So we're going to plug 26 into one of these. I'll plug it in to this one. So 4 times 26 plus 2 degrees. So 4 times 26 is 104, I believe. Let's see, 4 times 26. Yeah, it's 104. 104 plus 2 degrees equals 106 degrees. So these 2 are 106 degrees. If you add all these up, it should equal 360. Okay, so for number 12, this one we're using since these are both x's, and these are both y's, we're going to use the supplementary angle theorem. So for x, you're just going to add them up. So 4x plus 10 plus 13x should equal 180. So I'm going to add these 2 up and get 17x. Subtract 10 from both sides, and I get 17x equals 170. Divide both sides by 17. So x is 10. So that's your x. For your y, you do the same thing. You add them up. So the first one's going to be 2y plus 25, plus 30, not 30, 50, plus 2y minus 30 should equal 180. So add those 2, you get 4y. Add these 2, combine those 2, and you get 20 equals 180. Subtract 20 from both sides, and you get 4y equals 160. So y equals 40. Divide both sides by 4, you get 40. So we have our x and our y, and you just have to plug it in. So for x, I'll just plug in 10 here. So this should be 130. And if this is 130, and these are supplementary angles, then this should be 50. You can plug in 10 times, you can do that like 10 times 4 plus 10 also gives you 50. So that'd be 50 degrees if you do that. All right, and then you can plug in 40. I'll plug in 40 here. That should also be 50, by the way, because of your vertical angle theorem. So let's check that out. 2 times 40 minus 30, that's going to be 80 minus 30, which equals 50 degrees. So, and then this one should be 130 degrees. All right, the next one, our y's again are supplementary angles. Our x's are supplementary. So we're going to do just like we did with number 12. So we're going to do 21x minus 3 plus 5x plus 1 equals 180. Add those two up, you get 26x. Combine those two, you get minus 2 equals 180. Add 2 to both sides of the equation, and you're going to get 26x equals 182, and divide both sides by 26, and you get 7. So x is 7. And do the y's the same way. You have 4y plus 17y minus 9 equals 180. So this is 21y. I'm going to go ahead and add the 9 to both sides. So that gives you 189. Take 189, divide it by 21, and you get y equals 9. So we did our x and our y. Then we just have to plug it in. For my y, I'm going to plug it into this one. If I plug in y, I get 4 times 9. So this should be 36 degrees. This one should also be 36 degrees, which if you just take a look at 5 times 9 is 45 plus 1 is 36. And let's plug in our y as well. So we have 17 times 7 minus 9 degrees. 17 times 7 is 119 minus 9 equals 110. So let's make sure I'm doing this right. So minus 9 is 110. So this should be 110. Let's see if this works. Let me just do it again. 17. Oh, I did 17 times 7. All right. 17 times 9. I knew something was a little wrong. So 17 times 9 is 153. Minus 9 gives you 144. That makes more sense. All right, so this is 144 degrees. So this one must be 144 degrees as well. And all of that equals 360. And then for the last one, we have the vertical angle thing again. So we're just going to set them equal to each other because vertical angles are congruent. Subtract 15 from 5 from both sides. So you get 2x equals 18. So x equals 9. And then for your y, you have 16 y minus 27 equals 13y Subtract 13y from both sides. Add 27 to both sides. You can put a plus 0 here if you want. So it gives you 3y equals 27. So y equals 9. So if x is 9, you plug in x 7 times 9 is going to be 63 degrees. So these two should be 63 degrees. And then for my y, I'm going to plug it into this one. 13 times 9 degrees equals 117. So these two should both be 117. And that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.